Welcome back to Endless Ocean, Blue World. With me is still Red.
We're still in Greece.
And still Hazo.
Hey guys.
So, let's go back down again. Maybe Professor Sakurai can help us find these monk seals.
She's our new friend.
Or maybe she'll just point us at cool things. I'm fine either way. Our inaugural dive with the Japanese lady.
Yay.
How wonderful.
Ooh, schooling great whites. A very common sight in nature.
North Canyon, huh?
Yep. So, Professor Sakurai has a special ability, as you can see here. Her main ability is that you can talk to her, and she can do... Basically, she can do a flashback on past scenes or animals that you've seen.
You know, if you want to see the manta rays conglomerate again.
So she's a psychic?
Yep. And if you go to your map, like this, she can actually tell you what fish are in the area that you've seen before. And if you're looking for a specific fish, she can tell you where it is on the map, where it hangs out.
Nifty.
Ah, look at those clown trigger fish.
So she's basically a fish tracker. And, oh, whoa, what's this behind us? That looks different.
Ah, you found Gungnir. Gungnir is a legendary sailfish, and you can only approach and appear. They'll only appear if you have Professor Sakurai with you. Because otherwise, he either won't appear or he's too fast to actually catch up to him.
Thanks, Prof.
Ah. It's got a
Oh,
stubby
that's
little
unsettling.
nose.
That's kind of frightening, actually, yeah.
Look at his nose. Look at it.
Is it covered in blood?
It's just kind of rust-colored.
Oh.
Oh
punching
man, we
holes
could
through
be a
shit.
Norse ibis.
Pretty metal sailfish.
We do have an expert of Norse mythology with us, so Tyrs, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
The Norse religion that everybody thinks they know about is in fact not truly a religion. It is the modern Norwegian mythology that was based primarily on older stories that were then rewritten after Christianization. It was a way to maintain links to the past, while at the same time no longer worshipping false idols and bringing upon the ire of the Christians and their new, more powerful god. Many of these stories are continued to be used to either explain the old gods, talk about some of the newer invented gods, or explain natural phenomenon in a way that is easy for the peasantry to understand, as these date from the early 12th century to into the 15th century, and science was lacking at best in the northern climes. Many of the stories that we have are rima, or literally a rhyme, rhymer in plural. They're epic poems dating from the early 14th century, and were written to be easy to read and simple in storytelling so that the peasantry could use them as a word of mouth sort of transmission of ideas. My favorite of these is the Lokror. It's dated to the early 14th century. It's a myth that's also preserved in the 13th century prose Edda Gylfaginning. The Lokror is a more detailed storytelling of the travels of Thor and Loki as they go on a little trip. Here now is that story. So one day, Thor gets it in his mind that he wants to go meet Loki's namesake, Utgard Loki. And he goes and wanders and finds Loki and says, hey, let's go meet this guy. Loki is clever and wise, and is reluctant, saying that Utgard Loki is a fearsome troll, and in the Norse times, trolls meant giant. Thor tells Loki that he should man up because he's got a hammer and he can totally take any troubles. So get your stuff together, we're going on a journey. Thor takes his traveling pack of a hammer and 2 goats. Not long after they reach Midgard and start wandering around, they come upon a small house. There's a guy standing outside, and he offers them lodgings. The farmer has 2 children, Thialf and Roskva. Thialf takes Thor into the hall while Loki slaughters the goats and prepares them for food, which Thor then offers to the family that's keeping them. They all eat very, very greedily, and then Thialf breaks one of the legs to get the marrow. The next day, Thor resurrects the goats with the hammer, because that's the thing he can do now, and find one of them has a lame leg. This angers him, but the farmer, being smart, offers Thor his children as servants. Thor agrees, and off they go with 2 kids. So now Thor leaves his goats with the farmer and continues on with Loki, his hammer, and 2 kids. They take off into the night, and they find a large hall in the forest. It is skillfully made with strong roof and broad doors. It is decorated with gold. They enter it and go to sleep. As everybody is sleeping, a strong wind starts shaking the building in the forest. They get dressed again, and inside the hall they find another small house. Thor decides to guard the house while the rest of them go inside and sleep. The next morning, Thor gets up first and goes outside and finds an enormous giant sleeping by an oak. His snoring is what's shaking the earth and the trees in the house. Thor, of course, grabs his hammer and hucks it at the giant. But the giant wakes up and startles Thor. He then heartily greets him and his companions. Thor asks who he is. The giant tells him that he is Skrimner and asks Thor where he is going. Thor replies that they want to meet the king of Utgard Loki. Skrimner tells Thor and his companions that the house they spent the night in was actually his glove, and that they are far too weak to have any business visiting the Utgard Loki, but that he is willing to help them get there. Thor accepts, and the giant ties all their provisions up in one bag. Skrimner tells them the right way, and they follow through a forest until nightfall. Skrimner selects a place for them to stay during the night and tells the other to eat while he goes and lays down. Thor then is unable to untie the bag with his provisions, and it makes him mad. His only option, of course, is to throw his hammer at the snoring giant. The hammer strikes the giant in the head, and the giant wakes up and asks if some rubbish from a tree has fallen on him, and whether Thor and his companions are full. Thor tells him that they have eaten, and he should go back to sleep. The giant falls asleep, and Thor makes another attempt to kill him. This merely wakes the giant up. The giant then returns to sleep, and at daybreak, Thor makes a third attempt to kill him with the hammer. This wakes Skrimner up again, and he explains to them that they are now close to Utgard Loki's fortress, and tells them where to go. He goes north, and Thor and his companions now head towards the giant castle. Thor and his companions now approach the fortress. They find a giant gate that is locked. They are unable to open it, but they do manage to slip through the bars. They go into the hall, and Thor greets the king. Utgard Loki welcomes them and asks them where they come from, and whether any of them are good at any games or sport. In many earlier cultures, and especially in the Germanic and Nordic cultures, friendly games and sports were a way to show that each side was feeling safe with each other. They would wrestle, they would box, they would do all sorts of games like this. It was a way to show strength to each other without devolving into some kind of war that no one wanted. This then is how they fared. Loki decides to do an eating contest. An opponent, Logi, is shown to him, and they both eat meat as fast as they can. But Logi also swallows the knives, the bones, the plate, tries to bite Loki, and even eats part of the table. Loki is deemed the loser because of this, and the king asks for a better contestant. Thialf shows off his running, but is defeated by an opponent named Hugi. Thor now wants to compete. He says, let's have a drinking contest, and the king has a horn carried into the hall. Loki says that the horn is huge, and Utgard Loki says it is custom to empty the horn in one go. But Thor drinks from it 3 times. Each time he drains a large portion of it, but is unable to finish the horn. Utgard Loki then asks Thor if he can lift his cat from the ground. But Thor cannot. He can only get one of the cat's feet off the ground. The king then asks him to return to his seat and tells them that they have all been greatly humiliated. Thor, being prideful, now offers to wrestle anyone that will challenge him. The king says that he has a mother who knows how to wrestle, and sends for her. The old and large woman arrives and starts wrestling Thor. Thor can't beat her and is eventually pushed to his knee. The old woman leaves, and now Thor says he wants to go home to Asgard. The king says that he will lead them away, and explains to him the deceptions that have been going on. He is really the giant Skrimner. When he went to bed, he had sealed their bag of provisions with trickery, making it so that none could open it. He also blocked all of the hammer blows with mountains, saving himself from an inevitable death. Loki had been fighting fire in the eating contest, and the drinking horn itself had been put in the sea. Thor drank so much water from it that now Midgard had tides. The cat that Thor had tried to lift was actually the Midgard worm, or Jormungr, the worm that circles the world. And the king's mother was actually the avatar of old age. Utgard Loki then makes fun of them, curses them, and disappears. The last we see is a beaten Thor and a disappointed Loki heading back to Asgard with a pair of children. These children never really talked about again, but in the way that the Norse describe death, this means the kids never died, never aged again, and just spent the rest of eternity in Asgard as servant children. This story is mostly just a tale. It's not really here to give you any morals. It's not really here to explain anything. It's just a story of how Thor and Loki took a trip, and Thor can really kind of be a dick. The most overriding notion of it is don't try to cut off more than you can chew. Thinking you're the best is fine, but then going out and doing incredibly stupid things to prove it probably isn't in your best intentions. As you can see, it did not work out well for Thor, and it's gonna work out far less well for you because you're not a god. In the end, it just leads to disappointment, and for some, even ruination. It's one of my favorite stories, and I think it holds up well. If you would like to know more, look up Rimur, R-I-M-U-R. There you can find more about the poetic styles involved, and links to other stories. I'm Tyrs HTML, and this has been The Lurkrur.
Thanks, Tyrs.
Thresher Shark, go away.
So, yes, Gungnir is named after Odin's spear. And he is strong, he is fast. And the game, it's not quite sure if he's got a genetic defect / mutation, or if he's just weird.
Maybe he's just magic.
He's overdeveloped.
It does
he's
list,
huge.
yeah, his muscles are overdeveloped, and yeah.
So he is like a roided out thing. He's like a pit bull. He's the pit bull of the sailfish world.
Well, that does happen with animals. They get that thing where the muscle growth isn't suppressed.
Yep.
So you just hate fuck tanks of cows and dogs. It's crazy.
Yep.
Which you may be seeing a picture of right now.
So I guess we should actually look for monk seals.
That aren't surrounded by great white sharks.
Yeah.
We gotta be kind of careful. The odd thing about the arrangement of this part of the Aegean is that the furthest south portion of this area is full of great whites, and the northwestern portion is also full of great whites. So you're kind of stuck within a bubble of hate.
Love clown triggerfish.
Me too. Sea perch. Alright, let's see if we can find some stuff. Oh! A bottle made of wood.
Well, that's high density. High density wood.
Is that what that is?
Yeah,
I didn't know.
it's a big lead weight.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's high density wood. And it's shaped like a bottle. What do you think is high density wooden and shaped like a bottle?
Mercury?
You know, that would actually would not be a bad explanation.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good, yeah.
Hi, John Eric!
Hi, Oceana! We're hanging out here.
We saw Gungnir! He says hi!
See Penis Rock over on your left.
Yeah, there's lots of those. Leave it to the Greeks.
Nature abhors things not looking like penises.
Very good. Here,
Yeah.
you know, before the sharks got us.
Yeah, this is just where we started before.
Oh.
Not earlier, but yeah.
Earlier.
Earlier. Like eons ago. Like 4 in-game days ago.
Oh my goodness.
See something around here, but I have no idea where.
So you're not close enough yet. See, it's yellow.
There
you are.
So, Hazo,
Yes, sir.
what exactly is it that you do for a living? Explain for the crowd.
Currently I'm performing research in the southeast or southwest Atlantic, in most of their estuaries around here. I'm studying the tidal movements of predatory fishes.
Fascinating.
Yes. Actually, I've beyond that, I basically just mess around with pretty much as many different fish capturing techniques as you can think of. I've done trawling, dredging, trolling, weir fishing, seining, trammel netting, gill netting, hand lining.
Do you do noodling?
I do not do noodling. That is one of the few things I have not done.
I don't recommend
I
it.
do not. I'm not really enthusiastic about doing that either. There's too much nasty stuff down there.
How about Japanese kappa noodling?
Is that where you get your arm chewed off by a mythological monster?
No, that's
No,
where
it
you
pulls the thing out of your ass.
that's
Oh.
where you attach ropes around yourself and then you hang your ass out over a river and hope a kappa tries to suck out your ass. And then you just pull some ropes and then you pull yourself and the kappa away from the water. I would not recommend it.
It sounds foolproof.
Yeah. I mean, you are kind of risking your soul getting sucked out your ass, so it's not a great approach.
I'm listening. How could that go wrong?
Well, your soul ass is pretty important.
Most of what I'm working with now, though, is long lining and trot lining. I think a lot of people are familiar with long lining, where you have a long central rope with a bunch of intermediate lines hanging off of it. Trot lining is more like a smaller, scaled-down version of that. It's a easier way to get things that are more varied than sharks,
I see.
but you still get a fair share.
Alright. So what are you looking for?
I was trying to see if I could just cheat and use Professor Sakurai to find the monkfish.
You indecent
Turns out,
fiend.
because we haven't actually seen the monkfish yet, she can't really help us.
Monk seal.
Monk seal, rather. You're right.
Monk seal.
Monk
They are
seal.
different.
Why are there so many monks here in the Aegean?
Well, because it's
Oh.
the Aegean. Ah! Jeez!
Yeah, the white-tip reef shark does not like getting touched. He is a bit of a neckbeard himself.
They're cool as hell, though.
Don't touch me, just leave me alone, I'm a shark!
They can fit in all sorts of little
Mom!
crevices in those reefs.
Hey,
Just like
Bobby
these
cat
tiny ones.
shark.
Oh, they're adorable.
They are pretty adorbs, yo.
I believe it's a Scaliorhinus something, but I don't know. Red'll have to check on that.
Yeah, Scalirhinus torazame.
Shark-nosed tiger shark.
Yep. The torazame is Japanese.
For tiger shark.
Yes. Exactly.
But not that tiger shark.
Did not know that.
Not that tiger shark, though. An interesting thing about the cloudy cat shark is that when they're mating, the males will bite the female in order to position themselves.
A lot of sharks do that.
A lot
Yeah,
of sharks,
well-
yeah. You'll find that a lot of bite marks and stuff, and that's if they're on a place that doesn't really regenerate quickly, I think that's one way of IDing.
Yep. Well, it's just that the females of cloudy cat sharks are often very commonly found just covered in bite marks. Because I guess they're kinky like that.
Well, cats do like raping each other, so.
That's true. And that's
Maybe
true
it
even
goes to
for
cat
cat
sharks.
sharks. Yeah, I guess. And as we just saw, while we did solve the mystery of the Cicero's Undines, they still do appear occasionally. In certain areas, so they're not constantly blocking you from going places. They just kind of switch out, I think, where they're placed. So they're still there, just not annoying.
Dolphins.
Yeah, we must be making progress. We've got new animals. Hey, Skippy. He's back.
What you looking at here? What you looking at here? Is that a bottle? Is that the bottle you found? Was that a bottle? What a lovely bottle.
I hate those fuckers.
Just because I troll you, Red. Let it go.
They haven't in a while, but I'm still bitter.
Let it go, Red. They've been watching these videos, and they know. They just want to be your friend. These look like monk seals.
Holy crap.
Yeah, Mediterranean monk seals.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
So, yeah, seals swim fun.
Their binomial it could mean monk, monk. But if you take the actual root for monk, it could also mean alone, alone. Which is kind of depressing when you think about it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the monk seal is, in fact, as we were discussing last time, critically endangered. Their numbers have severely dwindled. They were excessively hunted for quite a long time because fishermen thought that they were a threat to, their livelihood. And now their numbers are so low that it's not looking too good for the monk seal.
One of the things they do, they're very shy around people, so they usually just won't even appear. So they've been actually breeding in the caves, and the tidal caves, and that's actually killing a lot of the young moths because they're in dangerous areas. Just trying to stay away from the humans.
There used to be 3 species of monk seal, but the Caribbean version was wiped out completely, and the other 2 are following closely behind, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, hopefully their numbers will be able to recover, and then maybe we can introduce one of them into the Caribbean. Who knows? What could possibly go wrong?
It'll be a fun project. Nothing wrong with invasive species.
Yeah.
Nothing could go wrong.
Sigh.
So yes, I just saw a beach over here. Let's go check it out. Perhaps we will find the missing monk seals. Because apparently these 3 here are not the missing ones.
No, they're fine.
No, there's the regular kind.
They're so ungraceful underwater.
But it's cute though.
Yeah.
It's cute though. They kind of wiggle, but that's cute. Wiggle, wiggle,
rays. Rays, the best animals.
Where's our need? Even if they killed poor Steve Irwin.
I always gotta bring that up, huh?
Yeah.
Wait, I always gotta bring that up.
Because I love Steve Irwin, Red. I really do.
I love rays.
I love both of them, but...
Look, those are red stingrays. I like those most of all now.
That's true.
There's another good candidate for why the hell are they here.
Yeah.
They couldn't have had another daisiated. No, it had to be the red ones.
Always bet on red.
Nope.
Oh, look at those lazy bums.
We're just seals.
Aww. Seals are fucking cute. Except for those horrifying leopard seals.
Oh, yeah.
Leopard seals are so full of hate. They actually like people for some reason.
Yeah, they think we're freaky mutated seals.
Yeah, they think we're leopard seals.
They think there's something wrong with us.
Yeah.
Aww.
Aww. Aww.
It's a kitty.
It's simultaneously adorable and depressing.
It's adorably tragic.
There are an awful lot of freaky looking seals out there, though.
Yeah, there are.
One of the guys I always get these mixed up with is the hooded seal, because, you know, monks wear hoods, and these are monk seals and hooded seals. And hooded seals have this giant bulb on their nose that apparently is used for mating, and they're pretty messed up looking.
Yeah.
I don't see any blue birds around here.
You know what's a cool seal that's not in this game? Crab eater seal.
Crab eaters are cool.
Do you know why they're called crab eater seals?
Is it because they eat crabs?
They actually don't eat crabs. The first one that was
Well, what the
discovered.
fuck?
The first one that was discovered had the remains of crabs around it, so they assumed it ate crabs. Does not eat crabs.
I think they're also great snacks for leopards. Leopard seals, that is.
Yeah, they've got weird teeth.
Yes.
Completely not good for eating crab. Well, I'm depressed. Let's get back in the water.
Bye, seals.
Let's go somewhere else that's not harassing these poor seals. Let them get on with the fucking.
Now that you know they're here, they've got to find a new home. Good job.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Disrupted their sanctuary.
It's like we're hardly even there.
This is our cove. Only we can use it.
Yeah, we're leaving. Sorry to disturb you, Mr. Seal.
Your footprints will stay there forever, because apparently ties don't exist in this game. Otherwise, Nine Ball Island wouldn't exist.
It's actually
Hey,
funny.
now.
They do have a titles thing going on 9 Ball.
Really?
You can actually check the ebb flow, spring tide, everything.
Well, then Nine Ball Island's just magic.
Hey, it could just be a short-lived island. It doesn't have to live there forever. It could just kind of stay there a little while. It's got trees. Trees stay alive, groves.
It's a magic island.
It's a magic island. I like Magic Island better. Don't bring your science into this, Zorak.
Yeah.
Look, I've seen lots of small mangrove-supported islands.
Well, yeah, but there's no mangroves on that island.
There's palm trees, though. Maybe
Those
there
aren't
used to be
mangroves!
How are palm roots going to support an island?
Maybe
I
there
don't think you
used to
thought
be.
this through, Zorak. I don't think you've thought this through at all.
Okay. Let's look at all those game handles things. The world tree used to be there, and its root system is supporting that island.
Why would the world tree be in the South Pacific?
Why wouldn't it be?
How would the Norse know about it?
It covered the entire world, Red.
That doesn't make any sense.
It looped around.
I will fight you.
Here's an answer for you, Red. The Song of Dragons.
That's not...
The Great Mother did it. The Ancient Mother did it.
Zorak, we're gonna have a talk later.
She brought the Norse along with and showed it to him. Like, yeah, check it out. It's a nice tree I found here. By the way, I'm a whale. These Norse were very impressed by this, just nodding. Like, yes.
Like, hey, this whale's talking to us. Let's harpoon it.
And then they did. Oh, the Norse.
Hey.
Hey,
Hey, look
Hey,
at
I
this
see
blue
you found
fucker.
me. How you doing?
Professor Sakurai, you go stand over there. I'm gonna go talk
got
to
my
this bird.
spot, huh?
Hey, I got a present for you. Want it? You sure?
right here for you.
Alright. There you go.
Enjoy. What the hell could Frozen South mean?
Oh, man.
What if this has something to do
There's
with this
that
whole
Dairy
glacier
Queen on
business?
Southwest 104th Street. Oh, man, the bird's gonna get a blizzard. It's gonna be great.
We got aquafins.
Aquafins, huh?
Yeah, aquafins.
Watch out, that's a goosefish.
Aquafins.
Is there anything actually here?
No.
Oh. Oh, man, you gotta go tell those monk seals.
I'm sure
There's a magic bird over there. Couple beaches down. Yeah, go check it out.
It's probably their summer home. Their home. They'll come here eventually. I think that's a pretty good way of wrapping that up. That dive.
Found a lot
We
of-
didn't find the monk. We found monk seals, even if we didn't particularly rescue any. But you know, it's a start.
Free dive gear. Always good stuff.
Yeah, it was just in a bird's gullet. A bluebird's gullet.
Either that, or it was just there. We just found it by it. Maybe it's just good at finding free gear for us.
Zorak, please, what are the odds of that?
Okay, maybe there was another diver there and he killed it.
It's more plausible solution. Bird killed
But-
that diver with Occam's razor.
There's another thing we've actually unlocked that we maybe should take care of real quick.
Is there?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh!
You're interested in the private reef, yeah? I guess.
I'm thrilled to tell you about this reef. Here, I've got to give you the staghorn coral. Just take it, it's a gift. Oh man.
I've been keeping this in my pocket for a couple weeks. Just plant it somewhere, it'll be fine.
Oh, it'll go really well with that barrel sponge.
Yeah, I'll bring Mandelbrot with. I think about Japanese lady Mandelbrot. Japanese lady Mandelbrot. I don't know. They're both such lovely company.
Japanese lady can't do as many flips out of the water as Mandelbrot can.
You'd be surprised. That lady can do anything.
She is very talented. She does have like multiple doctorates. She's like 10 of them. And she's a professor, and now she just works for a dive company just to do her research. That's pretty rad.
We're
It's a
friends.
She lives a varied and exciting life.
Out of the way, Golden Trevelly. I got a private reef to look at, apparently. Woo!
So this is the private reef. It's just a blank slab of rock in an area.
Oh no!
The latest scientific theories.
Of soil. Any kind of coral can be around here. Any kind
Basically,
of
it's supposed to be a research reef that they just kind of put things in and just go, I see.
and then promptly forgot about.
They can come back later and check it out. So we only have 3 items. We have, of course, staghorn coral, cat paws coral, and the barrel sponge.
Woo! Barrel sponge!
We could place things individually, unit by unit, or we can just auto place, because it doesn't
Aw.
really matter.
Look at that. It's art.
And the different things you have will attract different fish. The general idea is you want to get your fish density up.
I swear
course,
to
it
God,
takes a
we're gonna
while.
have a mola mola in this thing eventually.
Looking forward to it.
As you do this, more fish will start showing up, and you can actually release the fish to gain money somehow. So, it is
Well, 'cause
also
we're-
a source of income.
It's like a breeding area for fish. We're helping nature, and the scientific community appreciates that. We get some grants from the National Science Foundation.
Just a heads up, you're gonna be breeding a lot of yellow tang.
That's fine. But, I think that's it for this update. See y'all next time.
Woo!
Yee-hee.